Hi. In my previous video, I demonstrated how to explore and transform a data by creating a data pipeline using NexusMax AI for web. In this video, I will demonstrate how to execute data pipeline, but this time adding manual feature engineering stage. I will once again open the existing project. I will then choose data pipeline per the choices given here and create a new pipeline called customer churn FE. Now I will move on to my data pipeline. In the next page, an empty canvas is visible. I will first arrange each phase of my pipeline by dragging and dropping required widgets and connecting them all in sequence. Firstly, I will choose a resource for which I would like to apply feature engineering. For this, I will click on the sources present on the ribbon to choose type of source that I want to upload. Here, I have an option to source file from Hadoop, SQL, local store, and more. For my current pipeline, I will source data from the local store. From feature transformation present in the menu, I have an option to choose Auto FE. As this has been discussed in my overview demo, I will now toggle to manual resources and drag and drop manual FE. And for the final stage, to store the transformed data in a source, I will choose a sync for the same. Once again, I have many options to choose from. Here I am using NexusMax platform to store the data. I will now connect all the stages of my pipeline and configure each phase. Firstly, I will choose a resource for my data pipeline. Similar to data preparation, for my current pipeline, I will source customer churn data from the local store. I will then click Next to complete data configuration and I am taken to the next stage, that is feature engineering. Then on clicking Next, NexusMax will start executing feature engineering with default parameters set in the backend. As you can see, feature engineering is in progress. Once the page is loaded, I can view the characteristics of my data such as data type, null values and other statistical description of the data. By default, all the missing values are filled with the first value of a string data type and mean value of a numeric data type. However, in manual feature engineering, I have options to fill missing values of a numeric data type with either minimum, maximum or even standard deviation of that column. And for a string data type, I have an extra option to fill with minimum values apart from the top variable of that column. Further, there are options under transformations to transform the data which would later assist in optimizing the model. Here, I can convert object data type to string using string indexer. And for models that require only numerical input, I can convert string to numerical data type using one-hot encoding. Also, any data if required to be converted to time series, I can use convert to date. On clicking this, I have several options of date format to select as per my requirement, including date separator. Additionally, there are many other transformations that I can apply to a continuous data. For example, I can use normalizer to rescale the data between 0 to 1. Or even use min-max scaler to shrink the data by subtracting each value with the minimum value of the feature and then divide by the range. This will shrink the data between 0 to 1. Once one of the transformations are applied, I can view the selected transformations on the page. And I will click on Save to save the transformations. Next, to get an overview of the entire data, I will click Feature Visualization. As you can see, each variable with its respective graphs can be viewed. Going back to the Features tab, I can even visualize each feature by clicking on Visualize. Here, graph will be created for each feature. You can see a bar graph is plotted for categorical variable, and on selecting the continuous variable, frequency plot can be visualized of the sample data. There is also option to select percentage of sample data by sliding the bar. And finally, I will click Next to save the configurations. For the final storage phase, I will give a location to store my transformed data. Here, I am storing the data in the same project as my earlier data pipeline. I will then give a name to my transformed data. As you can see, my data will be stored in the form of CSV file. Once again, I will click Next to complete my data storage configuration. And my final step is to execute the configured pipeline on clicking Next. Similar to other types of pipelines, Numtra will start executing data pipeline, while each phase of my pipeline will be executed in sequence in the backend. As you can see, my data pipeline is executed. I can view my transformed data in the Results tab. I can even go back to my project and download the data for further use. To summarize, today I demonstrated how to apply feature engineering to the dataset to optimize a model. In the next video, I will demonstrate how to customize a model using manual model training pipeline using NexusMax AI for web. For any further queries, you can reach us out here. Thank you for watching.